All right. So I think I said this over the stream a couple times, but we're going to start one more time. We're on the USS Kitty Hawk here, and we have the captain of the ship here with us today. And she's going to be telling us about Fleet Week here in just a minute. Let me go around and let everyone say hello. AW, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's good to be here on Kitty Hawk, and I'm looking forward to a nice podcast with you all.
All right. Yeah, we got a great one lined up. Metmes, how's it going with you today, sir?
Yes, all okay. It's a very interesting location here.
Yeah.
I have to say, Akuria is actually not here. She is in Errol for some days and cannot participate, but she sends her greetings to you all.
Okay. Yeah.
And the other is the place of Sam Portocarrero by a builder of Juneau Regional Airport. Unfortunately, he cannot participate due to schedule problems in real life. So he cannot answer our questions after the video. So I have made an interview with him yesterday and recorded it. We can watch it after the video. He promised me to watch our podcast later. That is what I have to say.
Awesome. Awesome. Good deal. Producer Kyle, our new producer here, is second week on the job. How you doing, Kyle?
Howdy, I'm doing quite well this week.
Awesome. Well, good. You're looking good, man. And Captain Stenvaag, welcome to the SL Aviation Network podcast. How are you doing today, man?
Oh, it's Friday. I'm doing glorious. Hope everyone else is too.
Yes, Friday. Normally I have Fridays off, but I'm having 3 weeks off right now. So I woke up this morning and I was thinking, oh, it's Sunday morning. What do I need to do today? Oh, no, it's not Sunday. It's Friday. I don't know what day it is this week.
I
Okay.
resemble that remark.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so I think we got everything working here, and this is Memorial Day weekend, and I have a video here I want to play as kind of a tribute to Memorial Day. We made this video back in 2014, actually, and it's on. You can find the entire video on SL Aviation Network on the YouTube channel here on SL Aviation Magazine issue number 21. And actually, this carrier wasn't here at the time. It was the Forrestal, and the closing scene of that of this video takes place there. So I edited the videos down. It was somewhat longer, and we have a product feature at the beginning of the video. But anyway, let's watch this here. It's Memorial Day. Uh, this video shows three different groups here. Uh, one of them being the 7th Fleet and their Memorial Day celebrations back in 2014. So here we go. Memorial Day was celebrated across the U.S. this past week, and several ceremonies were held in Second Life. I was privileged to attend 3 ceremonies. The first was a parade in the beautiful town of Hilton Heights on the sim of Metmes. The parade was conducted by the Naval Air Station Nimitz Group. Just as in real life, citizens gathered to watch and cheer as they marched past through the streets of Hilton Heights. Parades have been a part of Memorial Day observances from the beginning. There is something very special and moving in seeing a military unit march past. My real town holds a Memorial Day parade and ceremony every year. I was not able to attend this year, but I did get pictures of the Veterans Memorial in the town square where the ceremony is held. This memorial is a very solemn place. Carved into the Bedford stone columns are letters from service people to their families. The authors of the letters were killed in action. It makes a person think of how great a price was paid for our freedom. This is what Memorial Day is about, to honor those who gave their life in the service of their country. Here is one letter. Dear Mom, Hi, I'm all right as usual, but still wishing I were home. I just counted up my time left in the service, and I have 224 days left before I can come home to stay. The Bob Hope Christmas show will be in July, but I won't be able to see it. July is about 20 miles from me, but we have something else to do. I'm going to send you a couple of pictures taken of me. They aren't too good, but they show what a track looks like, so you will know what I'm working on. I sure do wish I were home, this being the first Christmas since Connie and I were married. I sure do miss her, Mom. She's a wonderful girl, and I'm lucky she's my wife. Sometimes I wonder whether I'll make it home, but my thoughts of her waiting make me know that I'm coming back alive. I guess I shouldn't write so much about Connie because it embarrasses her, but I can't help bragging about her. I'm glad you're getting things fixed up at home. Now you won't need me to help, as Eddie will be in charge. He can handle things. I have faith in him. Tell him I said that, and I meant it, and I want him to go back to school next semester. When I come home, it will be about the middle of summer, and that's a darn good time of year, for I can take Connie many places, like Starve Hollow Beach, or the drive-in, or just stay home by ourselves. I really shouldn't plan so far ahead, but I do anyway. It gives me something to look forward to. Well, Mom, I know you and my brothers and Connie will miss me, but I'll be home soon, and we will be together again as we were, much happier this time, because I won't ever have to leave again. But have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I will be thinking of you always. Your son, Marvin. Specialist, 4th Class, Marvin Monroe, U.S. Army, was killed in action in Vietnam, February 9th, 1968. My next stop was the Dogs on the Run Memorial Day flyover. I love this group. They've put the fun back in flying for me. But as we flew around their sim, I could not help but think about a letter that I had read on a column at the Veterans Memorial the day before.
15th October 1944. Mother darling, it was such a hurried trip last weekend, and of course I didn't get to do the things I wanted to do. But I got to look at you and put my arms around you for a little while. Heaven, if I'm lucky, will be just like you coming to the door to meet me. I've been busy this week, just flying, but there has been quite a lot of it, and I've been catching up on sleep. I needed to. Remember, it won't be long till I come home for Christmas. Take care of yourself, and take it easy. And remember I love you, Mother, deeply and always. Excerpt from a letter to her mother written by Jenny Llewellyn Norbeck, an engineering test pilot with the Women Air Force Service Pilots, WASP, of World War II. The next day, Jenny was killed in the crash of the Vultee BT-13 Army Basic Trainer she was testing at Shaw Field, Sumter, South Carolina.
I left the dogs and went back in time to the USS Forrestal. The 7th Fleet held a Memorial Day ceremony on the carrier deck, and Captain Sidney Pobolowski spoke with her officers. She spoke of the meaning of Memorial Day. Her words touched my heart, and she summed up how I was feeling after my visit to the Veterans Memorial the day before. She said, Memorial Day is not for veterans. They have November 11th. Memorial Day is for the men and women of the armed forces of the United States who sacrificed their lives for their country, their fellow citizens, and most of all, their brothers and sisters in arms. So let me begin by reading General Order Number 11. This was issued by General John A. Logan in May 1868 to establish what was then called Decoration Day. The 30th day of May 1868 is designated for the purpose of strewing with flowers or otherwise decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion, and whose bodies now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet, churchyard in the land. In this observance, no form of ceremony is prescribed, but posts and comrades will in their own way arrange such fitting services and testimonials of respect as circumstances may permit. As Captain Pobolowski spoke, her words brought to mind my trip to the memorial and another letter I had read.
23rd of July, 1970. Hi. Thought I'd better get hot and right. I have more free time here than other place I've been in the Navy, but it's so different. I just can't get in the moods right. I think of everybody daily and say, well, I'd better write, and then I don't do it. On the night patrols, I sometimes wonder what I'm doing over here. The mosquitoes eat you up right now. It's the rain season. You just sit here and wait for him to shoot at you, or you see something and start shooting. I'll be glad in a way to get my first firefight out of the way, so that the waiting at night will be easier. I think. Love, Jim. A letter to his sister by Chief Quartermaster James Robert Hunt, U.S. Navy, who was killed in action August 23, 1970.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm back here. That's a little touching. I don't know how many times I've watched that video, but it's always moving, and it's always great when groups here remember Memorial Day. And this is one group here that has been very faithful in conducting Memorial Day services every year. So, so I think this is a good time to talk to Captain Stenvaag about the Fleet Week here. So, Captain, are you with me? Yes, okay. I just want to make sure I hadn't let everybody in group chat. You were actually in that video. You were an ensign there, I noticed. I forgot it in the credits.
Yes.
But,
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
I was the one in the skirt.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Okay, very good. So, Captain, you're here to talk to us today about Fleet Week, and so any opening comments or what you would like to say about Fleet Week?
Woo! Oh, there's a lot about Fleet Week. So it's our 5th year of holding Fleet Week here in Second Life. We've joined with other military groups, primarily naval groups. In real life, Fleet Week is a long-standing U.S. Navy tradition where active military ships and personnel visit major cities for a week, providing opportunities for public tours and community engagement. These events showcase the Navy's capabilities and provide a way to connect with the public, particularly in areas without significant Navy presence.
Here come the
What?
Blue Angel.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and
Couple
keep
for-
talking. I'll cam out here while you're.
Well, since this is Second Life, we mirror what the real life Fleet Week is all about. We have activities. We have with the 3 fleets that we have this year, we have ship tours, parade of ships. We do outreach to the public, and we're doing it in multiple locations, just like real life. The importance of Fleet Week hit on these 3 points, and actually, this is the real life Fleet Week bullet points, which mirrors our own: public awareness, recruitment, and community relations. And we hope to foster goodwill within the Second Life community.
Okay. Did the
All for that. Second Life community needs more goodwill.
yeah? So was the real Fleet Week, was that just this past week, or is it going on right now? I saw something on the news about it, and
I think it started
No.
about 2 or 3 days ago.
yeah.
Yes. So we're like we're neck and neck with our real life counterpart, which is rare that we are in that I'm trying to find a word for that. Well, it's neat that we're doing this.
Yeah.
We're doing this.
So yeah. So you said this was 5. I was thinking 4 years, but this is 5 years that you've been doing this now. So
Yes, it is.
that's great.
So did you create these sims, or was it just here and you moved in, or?
No, we actually built these 8 sims.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they were always designed for this purpose of simulating the Indochina, Vietnam
Yes.
kind of combat
Yes.
zone.
Yes, this was thought up, I want to say 10, 12 years, no, longer, about 14, maybe 20 years ago, by this designer by the name of Jay Yeager. He had this vision, and he created the Kitty Hawk. He created there's a shrine at Dendra that he did, and the town where Fu Yan is. He created those buildings. So, and he's no longer with us, but we were very lucky to have a builder who's just as passionate, who's stepped up to the plate and was able to create the rest of the sim, the region, the way it looks like today.
Yeah, it looks great. This is one of the most visually stunning areas in Second Life. I think more people should find out about it.
Yeah, really, it should. I mean, when you walk around through that jungle, it's real and kind of spooky, really. Especially if you're playing combat, it's kind of scary.
Oh, actually, let me say something about the jungle. And this is my baby. Every Halloween, around Halloween, I do something spooky in the jungle.
Oh, really? We'll have to check that out then. So.
Oh, I invite you all to check it out.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so 5th year, and you talked about the real Fleet Week, and so what kind of activities are do you have planned for the SL Fleet Week?
Okay, so we have 2 days, the opening day and the closing day. Opening day, we have ceremony, introducing ourselves and opening the doors to the public, saying, hey, check us out, see what we have. I'm not sure about the activities yet. They're still in flux, and I haven't gotten the final draft yet. So, and same with closing day. The closing day ceremonies, we invite all the public to more or less celebrate with us the success of the Fleet Week. We have music, we have dancing, so and yeah, it's just a nice way to, for especially for not just the Navy, but for any other military group to come in and hang out with us.
Yeah, very cool. And civilians too, right? I mean, that's part of it
Oh
is
yes,
is for
oh
recruitment,
yes,
right? So,
yes. Well, this is our way to show the Second Life community what it is that we do. That it's not just going out into the jungle and shooting people up. So that's not what our military RP is about. We do have combat. That, uh, that's a bonus, but we live and breathe the naval life.
yeah.
When I'm on the deck of the ship, I'm the captain, and I have a bearing. I try to I try to do my role with as much respect as I can.
Okay. So, what about the Admiral Pobysky? Is she still involved with the Seventh Fleet?
Oh yes.
Mhm.
So she's now Rear Admiral, Sydney Pobieski, and she actually became the Rear Admiral back in 2018.
Mhm.
And when she did that, um, the lonely ensign that I once was became the commanding officer of this ship.
uh, okay,
That's
very
an
good.
awful quick promotion there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Actually, let's see. I had started here 2012, 2013, and I moved up the ranks, but some odd reason I decided I wanted to be the executive officer, and I was just a lieutenant. So I applied for the job and I got the job, and it's like it ever since. It's like I when the admiral was our captain, I was her shadow. So I made sure that this ship ran. And if she was out, if she was away, then I became the acting captain. So I made sure that her ship ran the way she wanted it run.
Okay. So it wasn't just like you woke up one morning and said, "Oh no, I'm the captain. What am I going to do?" You were already prepared, right?
I think you were ensign and you're also chief of the boat.
Yeah. Yeah. Really. Okay.
But this,
Go ahead.
if I can mention this, and this is something that I like to discuss when we're talking to the public. They're always talking about, oh, well, what can I be? What rank can I be? And I say, well, I started at the bottom of the barrel. I was a seaman. I started as a seaman, and I worked my way up. I'm considered a Mustang because I did started as enlisted. And you know what? I had fun along the way. I learned I learned different things. I learned how to use a weapon here. I learned how to fly. I now know how to use a PBR. So, make the most of it.
Yeah. Very good. So, for Fleet Week, what groups are involved with Fleet Week this year?
Okay, so we know that 7th Fleet is involved. We also have 2nd Fleet, and they are Navy. They're modern Navy. And then we have, oh, please let me say Portuguese correctly, Marinha do Brasil. So the Brazilian Navy fleet. So those are the 3 fleets for this year.
Okay, awesome. And any individuals you'd like to mention by name?
Yes, there are some individuals. I like to mention Oliveri. Um, there was, unfortunately, um, his group had dropped out, but he had so much contribution that I felt I feel that he needs to be acknowledged
Yes,
for
yes, he
that.
does. He's a very good man.
Yes, he is. And let's see, we have for acknowledgments from Seventh Fleet, we have Captain C.J. Duke Keehan. He's the Seventh Fleet representative. We also have Commander Dan Grantham, and he's the let's say jack of all trades, and also whenever we need a DJ, he steps in and takes care of things. We have from Second Fleet, Lieutenant Danny Chase, who's very methodical, I must say, very methodical. From the Brazilian fleet, we have Giselle Osel, and once again, my Portuguese will fail me, Lugracha Walter. So, I know I butchered it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine, and all good people and they all participated with us in the Fly for Life event, expo event that we just did. And Oliveri, I mean, he plays a key role in that, and really, really does a lot of work and a lot of help for us. So, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned him as well. Okay, so we talked about activities. And yeah, the party, you do have a slug DJ for the opening party, which is me, and we're going to do it. And the uh, event, all the displays and everything, the booths will be set up at Gensil, and we'll have a stage there, and we'll be setting those up. In a week or two? Have to look at my
Another
calendar here.
two, another week.
Yeah, another week, and then we'll be setting things up. So it's just a great opportunity. So if I wanted to uh, join, you know, what would I have to do to join up?
Well, glad you asked that question. What's nice about the fleets is this. So let's say that you wanted to join up, and you can approach any personnel within the three fleets and say, "Hey, I want to join." And well, we all have applications, but we try to talk to potential recruits to see if the fit's going to be right, because not not everyone can speak Portuguese. I speak a little, not everyone. So Brazilian feet might not be their cup of tea. However, when they talk to Seventh Fleet, they want to do something more modern. So we will actually direct them to the fleet that fits their personality or what their wants are. So, but yes, like I said, some of the fleets, we have websites, and we also have online applications. And also, we invite the public to visit us at the Sims. I know that weekends, it's like Seventh Fleet, we're really here on the weekends because we all work during the weekdays. But and just walk around, see, take a look. You will probably see me or my XO or one of the pilots or one of our enlisted personnel. Just go up to them, say, "Hey, can we talk about the role play here?"
Okay, very good. So, Captain, we won't keep you much longer. I think you've given us a pretty good uh, overview of what Fleet Week is and what it's going to be this year. You can also check out my YouTube channel, SL Aviation Network, and we have several videos of Fleet Weeks past. So You can check it out. I think I have a playlist entitled Fleet Week, so just search that out, and you can check out some of the activities that they've done in the past, and I'm sure we'll have some good video material for this year as well. So does anybody else have any questions for the captain? No? Captain, any closing comments?
Yeah. One of the things, the nice thing about the Kitty Hawk is this: you can actually use the catapult and fly off the ship. So, if anyone's brave enough to want to try to launch and land on the ship, once again, I invite you to.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's fun. I've done it before, and it's very cool. So it's a good experience. So I'm sure they'll help you any way they can. I see we have Kissy and Amy here in our audience. So yeah, thanks for joining us, ladies. I just was camming around here. Okay, so Captain, you can stay if you want, or you're free to go if you have some other obligations that you need to carry. We've got 2 more segments to do here, and if nobody else has anything to add to the Fleet Week conversation, I'm going to turn it over to Metmes for the airport-to-airport segment. Metmes, take it away, bud.
Yes, thank you very much, and thanks to Captain for his very impressive report. Well, can you hear me all?
Yeah, you're coming in loud and clear.
Okay. I have the honor today to introduce you to Juneau Regional Airport. Akira and I got there by chance 3 years ago, and I have to say that even back then I was fascinated by its originality in terms of location and layout. Today we have the opportunity to get to know this airport better. The whole area there belongs to Hollywood Real Estate, HRE, and is managed by individual groups such as Blake Visage Holdings and others. Sam Portocarrero, who I have said is not here today, Sam Portocarrero was approached by Mark Wainwright about 12 years ago to build an airfield in the area. They agreed on location, and Sam was given a free hand to realize the airfield. So first, let's dive in watching the video. Luke, I beg you to show it.
When I am alone, I think of you. Sunlight through the trees, morning dew.
We are not in Alaska, not even in Skagway, a compact town in southeastern Alaska located on the popular cruise route through the Inside Passage. And yet this area has much of its real-life counterpart.
Hearts entwine in this quiet place. Echoes of our love, sweet embrace.
The area is located a few sims north of Hollywood Airport. It was built more than 10 years ago as a region modeled after the famous Alaska Inside Passage. The area consists of 28 sims. Juneau Regional Airport was strategically located to serve as a gateway to the region while allowing visitors to get a glimpse of what makes this area so special on their way here. A boat trip from Blake Inlet, the gateway to the region, to Juneau Airport reveals the wild, rugged landscape.
Walking on the shore, waves so near. silent moments without fear. In the night with stars so clear, your voice whispers in my ear. Hands held close, never fall. Together we can have it all. Even when the shadows call, through it all we stand tall. Oh, oh, when I am alone, your love is my home. Memories never gone.
However, Juneau can also be reached by train, which runs directly from Blake Inlet to the airport, passing through this impressive natural landscape.
Your love is my home. Memories never gone. You're the light at dawn.
The airport is named after the capital of Alaska, Juneau, which is a French name. And an early morning flight into Juneau is also very appealing. There wasn't much space available to build an airfield with hangars and a train station in this narrow spot. So the facilities were divided over 2 floors, and yet everything is still here. Pre-flight area, main building,
sunlight through the trees, morning dew, whispers in the breeze, sky so blue. Time slows down, dreams come true. Mountains tall we climb, we
the railway station,
every step I see your face. Hearts entwine in this quiet place,
and a lovingly designed marina.
oh, when I am alone, your love is my home. Memories never gone, you're the light at dawn. Walking on the shore, waves so near, silent moments without fear. In the night with stars so clear, your voice whispers in my ear. Hands held close, never fall. Together we can have it all. Even when the shadows call, through it all we stand tall. Oh, oh, when I am alone.
Every visitor will feel at home here, be able to relax, and want to come back again and again.
When I am alone, I think of you. Sunlight through the trees, morning dew. Whispers in the breeze, sky so blue. Time slows down, dreams come true.
Okay, very good there, Metmes. Don't know if it's done streaming for you yet, but excellent video.
Thank you. Well, I talked with Sam several times to get some information. And I was very impressed about the area, about the nature there, about how they did it with very carefully. And I was impressed, and he would like to be here this evening or this day, but he can't due to schedule problems in real life. He cannot participate, and as I have said, I have made an interview with him yesterday, and I have recorded it. And maybe we can watch the video now, so we can learn some more things about Juneau Regional Airport. Look, I beg you to start the video too. Well, Sam, I'm glad to meet you here at the table, which is Juneau Regional Airport. As you know, we will show the video about Juneau Airport, and normally we are doing an interview with the owner or with the builder of the airport, and you cannot participate at the podcast due to scheduling problems, so we are trying to make it here with an interview. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, and I thank you for setting up this little unorthodox interview. I'm like you said, I'm sad I can't make it, just real life conflicts, but we're making it work, even with our time differences. So that's pretty awesome, and I thank you again for working with me on that.
Thank you. It's an interesting airport, and I think the history of Juneau and the whole area is interesting too. What can you tell us about yourself?
Well, I've been building in Second Life for around 20 years now. I've built multiple airports. I've built multiple things. I was once a mole for the LDPW. I just like creating, and I like creating things that people enjoy using. I love aviation, and been a big part of the aviation community for well over a decade now. Geez, time flies. But it's just been a lot of fun, and I just, I like doing it.
I see. You have a long life in Second Life. You're older than me, and so your experience must be great. My question is, how was the airport planned and built?
Originally, this entire area was conceived from Mark Twain Wright, the late Mark Twain, I should say, and his wife Neber, to build essentially a Second Life version of the Inside Passage of Alaska. And a mutual friend of ours introduced the two of us. I had been a renter and flyer, I guess you could say, a pilot at Hollywood for probably a year or two at that point. But he connected us, and Mark let me know of the project, what he wanted to do, and that he wanted to anchor it all with an airport. And he wanted somebody who could build something that would match the theme of the area in real life to here, and kind of be the anchor to all this. So that's kind of how I got involved. And we worked together for a few months to figure out exactly what he wanted. And eventually he just said, here's some land, build me something, and I'm going to let you know. And thankfully he liked it, and here we are.
You have done great work, I think. It's really a very interesting airport. How has Juneau Airport developed in the last 10 years?
Not a ton has changed over the past decade, but one thing that has grown is, if you look around, a lot of the landscaping has changed from when I put it in, because I was working with, mesh, which was still somewhat of its infancy back then, and a lot of the trees and landscaping back then was just not that great. So we've had people come in that are much better at that than I am and replace a lot of it. So you have better rocks, you have better trees, you have a better just kind of look to the exterior of the place.
I see.
We've added hangars, we've added DSA's store at the end, and just minor revisions throughout, but a lot of it is largely the same as it was when it was built.
Okay. Yes. Well, very well. How heavily is the airfield used?
It's still a lightly used airfield. I'm not sure a ton of people know it's up here. And it's a little difficult to get into, more so than the straight-on approaches you would see at like Hollywood or SNO or some of the other airports. That's partially by design, but it's used by tenants up here and a few that do know about it. But hopefully a few more will be using it now that we get it out there.
Okay. Okay, I see. Has the original intent for the airfield to facilitate access to each scene been successful? Or is it primarily the tenants who use it?
I think it's a lot of the tenants who use it. I would say yes, overall it's been successful. The people who do know about it or do venture up here, I do think get the will to explore around a bit, especially with the train, which just came in behind us a few seconds ago. I think it's gone now, but especially with the train and the boat dock. So they have intermodal ways of getting around, and it kind of leads you to explore. You see the train come in, you're like, well, where's that go? Let's hop on there and see where it takes us. So I would say, for the most part, yeah, it's been successful in its original mission.
Yeah, I see. But it's still a calm place here, a very romantic place, I think too. Well, what facilities at the airfield have proved their worth from the outset? Which things have only been added or had to be adapted over the years?
Well, definitely the loading for the railroad down here, and the seaport has been, or not seaport, the little marina has been very useful.
Okay.
Those have proven themselves to be, I think, key parts of this. I mean, the entire airport behind us was developed around this railroad coming in right where it is. That was kind of one of the areas that I could not touch when I started this.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been very useful. We've added hangars. We've added a Drew store at the very end. We've redeveloped the marina and added the GTFO hub. And I would say the hub has been important. The marina has been important. And the hangars, as far as I'm aware, have always had tenants in them since we built them. And I think they're going on probably 8 years old now or so.
Okay. Very good. Sounds very good. What influence has the airfield had on the development of the region?
I mean, it's nice having an airport nearby without really being, right up your nose. So I think the tenants that rent the rest of these parcels around here, and in this, I guess, the sim group, you could say, appreciate its existence. They don't have to have a seaplane out front unless they want one, and they have a place where they can bring people in and kind of, immerse them a bit in the region and its theming to get them to their, residences and stuff. I think it's overall just been a fun little addition and fun little contribution to the region.
I think yes, but still an important contribution, I think too. As I have been here for a while, I'm watching the planes landing and starting, helicopters and so on. So it's a living airport still. And my last question: what was and is your personal heartfelt concern when it comes to the airfield?
Mainly that it just makes people happy, with anything that any of us content creators do, yourself or, like Drusello or any of the others with these with aircraft and buildings and podcasts. We just want to make sure people are happy and enjoy what we do. And that's ultimately what I do with anything that I build. I really want to make sure people enjoy it, use it, and or just have a positive experience overall. And that's kind of what we aim for with this airport. We just want to, add something positive to the community and just something we hope people will use and, really just kind of like.
I see. Very good. Very good. You know that we, as the airport of Santa Bray, we are interested to partner airports. And this interview and the video about Juneau Airport is intro to getting in partnership. What do you say to that?
Absolutely. We'd love to have you. We'd love to be a part of it.
Okay, thank you very much, Sam, for this interview. And I wish you a good time, and we see you sure, and we meet us as a partnership. Thank you very much.
And thank you. Thank you for having us. You as well.
Nice interview.
Yeah, very good. Very well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Well, the advantage of the job I have to make these videos is I can get in touch with very interesting people in Second Life. I learned a lot of how Second Life has developed. I learned how they did the airport, for example, and things like that. And Juneau Regional Airport is really an impressive airport because it's custom made. All things there is made on 2 floors. One is the upper floor with the hangars and the ground floor with the train railway station. And what he has said is very impressive. He likes to make people happy. And that's a very good message. Well, that is what I have to say to that.
Yeah, that is very good. And he also built the Abbott's, rebuilt it actually, Abbott's airfield as well. And that's a very impressive build. He kept it, because it's kind of Cubiterra, was original builder of that, and he had the Art Deco, like 60s or no, the 40s sci-fi type buildings. That's what. And if you go over there to Abbott's and look at that Sam, I think I have an interview up there somewhere with Sam about Abbott's. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, great video there on the airport and the interview, Metmes. Very well done. I would like to make a comment about Mark Twain White as well. Mark, when I had an idea to do the SL Aviation magazine, and I floated it by Mark, and I sent him a trial video, and he basically said, "Can you come over to my house this evening?" And I said, "Yeah." What time? So I went over to his place over there. It was over by Hollywood somewhere. I can't remember where his house was at, but he set me out on the patio, and he said he was pretty diplomatic and nice about it. Basically, he said, "You don't have a clue what you're doing," and but he told me how to improve it. He gave me some. Here's what you need to do. So then when I actually did publish the first SL Aviation magazine episode, he contacted me right away and congratulated me, and then asked me to be on the show. So we had a really good, in fact, the interview was so long we broke it into 2 different parts. And so Mark Twain White, he did a lot for Second Life, and he will surely be missed. So I see. Looks like the Blue Angels have joined us here as well. So
Yeah, we've got a whole crowd of Blue Angels here.
Yeah, very good.
Welcome.
And Captain Stenvaag, are you still on the stream with us here?
Yes, I am.
I was going to ask you before I ended your segment. Is the Memorial Day celebration open to the public?
Yes, it is. It's
Well,
open to everyone.
okay, can you give us time and date and everything?
Let's see. Hold on a second. I believe this is based on 2024's. So if you give me a quick second, and go in here, activities. Oh, version 2. Good. Let's see. It looks like what we do at the very beginning for Memorial Day is we actually gather here on the deck at 7:30 a.m. SLT to raise the flag.
Okay, so 7:30 a.m. SLT.
It's yep. If you're interested in seeing us raise the flag, and then at about we meet again at 11:45 to kick off the event. So we'll
That'll be this
lower the
Monday.
flag. Yeah, this coming Monday we'll lower the flag. We'll do our typical how should I say, our formation, what is normally done in real life Navy when we're having this type of event. So you can see what's a good word for it? You can see the ceremonial portion. We're going to do that, and then we'll have it looks like we have 2 speakers. Rear Admiral will be one. I'm not sure who the other speaker is going to be, but it's going to be 2 speakers.
Okay.
And we will play taps afterwards.
All right. Kind of like what I showed on the video there before, but just a little bigger event this time. And
Yes.
so, very good. Very good. I'll try to be here.
Oh, that'll be great.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, and thank you, Blue Angels, for joining us here. We did capture a bit of your flight as you flew over the carrier there.
Wonder if anybody's ever tried to do the Navy band in Second Life.
There you go.
Well, some of the instruments aren't available. And I know that the Navy band doesn't march. If they did, there's a lack of marching information. There is that some of the things that we have to do, like honor guard and stuff like that, I've had to create because it's not in marketplace.
Well, you got
I
it.
just had visions of band marching, playing Anchors Away, you know?
Yeah. You got it. You got a creator
next
sitting right here that might help you with that too. So, okay, thank you, Captain. That is very informative, and so yeah, check it out. It's a good experience to come here for the. I've been to several of them. The lowering of the flag and then the raising again and the taps and everything. Very moving. Every time you hear taps, you know, it chokes me up. It really does. So. Okay, AW. Let's move on to Builder's Corner.
Still awake.
Yeah. Okay, take it away.
Okay, this is my. How much time do we have left?
As much as you need.
Okay. Well, in honor of this being a naval event, I just rezzed a couple of our planes. We got the Tomcat, which I've shown before when it was new. It's not new now, but it's you get a chance to see it in its habitat. Its proper habitat there. So Tomcat with the wings all the way back in park mode there. So just wanted to give that a little plug just in honor of this being a naval event. But it's a complete coincidence. We just, I think it was yesterday, released this other plane, which is the C-131. And that's the Navy version of the Convair airliner from like 1949. This is I think it has a distinction of being the last plane that was made that was in common use that had radials. So this is basically the Convair CV240, also known as the C131. And this is also a PBR. This is the first time we have a PBR livery for it, but that's a new one. So I just wanted to show that stuff off. And what I really wanted to share with you was something new, which was I had, well, two things. One of them, again, in honor of where we are holding this event. I just happened to have made a special video. This was like last year, and it was made on this area. This area is like 8 sims, so I'm not sure what to call it. I guess it's like a microcontinent. We just needed a place to show off our Huey. And so I sent that video to Luke. So if you want to play that now, it's just a quick video, but you get a chance to see the area here that we're in. Yeah, so that one, now that video, most of the time, the videos we post, you're lucky to get like 200-300 hits. This one has 30,000, so it somehow ended up going viral. I have no idea why, but that's a lot of plug for not only our Huey but also this area. So I don't think Luke is live right now, but I'll just keep on talking. So if you are able to hear me, Luke, the next thing is I don't just do developing, but I'm sort of on a mission to make sim crossing easier for people. And so I wanted to take this time to share with you the latest vid that I made. It was only made today on a couple of changes that have been happening to the Beta Firestorm. And this is a car video, but if you're a pilot, you can also appreciate it because you're going to be basically doing the same thing. You're crossing a lot of sims, you're crossing them fast. So if you are still hearing me, Luke, just roll the next tape and we'll play that one. Okay, let's do a really quick review
Testing
of
1, 2.
some of the things that have been happening. So I'm on Firestorm Beta 7.1.13.78123, and today is the 23rd of May. 2025. So let's just get on the road and I'll talk while I'm driving. I'm going to try to drive fast. That's why I'm driving this car. It's not a finished car. It doesn't have the proper sounds or lights. And some of the motions don't work yet. But in terms of crossing at speed, it seems to be one of the better cars. So we're going about as quick as I think it's safe to do. And we're doing pretty good. But there's some stuff I wanted to talk about where it's not really how we've expected it to be. Like I've said in the previous videos, this is always a work in progress, and this is not to be considered factual. This is just what we know, or what I know now from my own experience. One of the things that has changed has been the size of the cache. It had been fairly well established that a cache size of 2048 was the safest cache size for people that do a lot of fast sim crossing, because it was not so big that it was going to become a hindrance, and yet it was big enough that it could pretty much handle what you needed. But that was before PBR, and PBR has, in addition to it being a different way of rendering, it also has a certain structure where those PBR textures are encapsulated into a material which has at least 3 textures in it. There's going to be at least a normal and a base color, and then a metal or metallic roughness texture. So there's going to be at least 3. And so if you're using a 2048 package of textures, that's the square of 2048 times 3. So, for instance, if we look at this thing here that says ice, we don't know what these texture sizes are, but, or maybe if I look at this thing, which is a little newer, we don't know exactly what these texture sizes are, but they look pretty good. So if this is PBR, and it might be, then this is 2048 squared plus 2048 squared plus 2048 squared at the very minimum, because there could be more than 3. It could be 4 or 5. So if you multiply that by thousands, because imagine like, oh, we've already had a bad sim crossing. If you imagine the sheer number of possible textures that are going to be in range, it just is, it's mind-boggling. But there's a way for us to see, which by the helpful information I've gotten from the people who developed Firestorm, I've been able to kind of analyze now. I think that was my fault. I think I just went too quickly through that corner. You know, I can usually go through corners at about this speed without really having a problem. But that one might have been a little too quick. Anyway, in the old days, it would not have been like that. It would have been a single texture and then possibly a specular and a normal, possibly, but it's the square of 1024. Well, the square of that is it's quite a bit smaller than the square of 2048. It's basically, it's a 4-fold increase for every texture. And then the textures now come in packages where there are multiples of them. So I kind of figured out that it was about 7-fold increase in texture load overnight if you go from the viewer 6 to viewer 7. You're automatically going to have a 7-fold increase in textures, even if you're at a fairly low draw distance. So we're having pretty good performance, though, and the reason for that is mostly because of the settings that I've previously talked about, which help in sim crossing and they help in texture load, because right now we're loading only, or we're showing only 1024 textures. We're loading the full size, but we're showing only the 1024. But I've increased the texture cache size to 10 gigs. And the reason for that will become obvious once we get back to our home base. I'm almost there. As you can see, some of the textures are starting to look gray. And we don't like that. It's an indication that things are just not really loading from the cache, or they're not loading into the cache, and it's getting kind of backlogged. There's a backlog of textures. A lot of things are showing gray, and the longer you drive at a fast speed matters, because it's going to increase the rate at which the new textures have to get shoved into your viewer. So as you can see, the faster we go and the more we go, the more gray it shows. And this is expected, because this is what I've had happen through experience, through weeks of doing this now. And you can even see in the mini-map, those textures aren't loading. So once I get home, which is just a couple more sims, I'm going to show you something. There we are. Okay. Try to get right back in here. Make sure that I hit my exploding antenna first. All right. So once we get home, and then I exit the vehicle, it actually looks pretty good. And so what I'll do is have a look at the developer menu, consoles, texture console, and you can see this is good, right? See how this is green? What it means is that everything has caught up, and now we're not seeing the gray anymore. If I were to use a smaller cache size, that gets backlogged, and then this just becomes a churning mess, and it just keeps on churning and churning, because for some reason, I don't know why this is, but Second Life just in the more recent versions, it just wants to load everything that you had previously gone by, instead of saying, oh, it's now out of range, so let's just forget about it. It wants to somehow load it or do something with it before it decides to delete it. So you see how their bandwidth has to increase, and it just becomes difficult for this thing to deal with it. But my cache is indicated at the very top in the middle here, and that's only about halfway. Once it gets to the point where it's filled up to here and it gets yellow, that's when this kind of churning will just endlessly happen. So it's kind of happening here because there's so many textures in this sim. And then this is when you also get the stutters. We're not really getting it right now, but in short, what I've found is we still need to follow the same procedures, which I'll get back and I'll show you what the procedures are in order to try to get good sim crossing with the current beta. This doesn't work with anything other than the current beta. The current beta for Firestorm has new code that fixes some of the issues that came in with the latest code from LL. And it stops that tendency for everything to stutter and freeze when you spin your avatar around 360. So you can do the same with a car. So for instance, if I get up to here and then I just want to kind of spin my way around, spin like that, it's not jittering and freezing like it used to. See, here we are. Now we're into that gray thing, and having the 10 gigs, it allows this to catch up a little quicker. See, the VRAM is getting a little high, but this is way better than it was when I was at 2048. And this is why the only change that I've made for driving, or for if you're flying in a place where you're not high up enough for it to make a difference. The only change that I've made is this. So this is 10 gig. Otherwise, we're going with high, not ultra. We're going with limit frame rate, which I didn't even talk about before, but I do that because why bother? going at 400 FPS when it's just going to make the fan on your GPU go crazy. But texture rendering, restrict maximum texture resolution to 1024. So this is what I do in order to get a good drive. First, I set for kind of a high setting, not ultra, and you kind of see what those settings are. This is a 3 level of detail. I want to get pretty much AO, transparent water, all this stuff because I want it to look good, but no more than high. This is all kind of basic stuff, although I unclick this because I don't want it slower. And then rendering, texture rendering limit to 1024. This is really critical. And network and files, directories, texture cache size, and asset cache size of 10 gigs. Then you clear it. This before you're going to go on a drive, you clear it, press OK, relog, come back in, and then don't change out of this. If this is a preset, which mine is, don't change out of this preset because you want to keep that. If in this particular version of the beta, this texture rendering restrict will change depending on which preset you use. So you set all that stuff up, say OK, and then exit. And it'll take a long time because 10 gigs takes a while to clear. Then you should be okay for a while. It eventually is going to work its way up to the point where this gets filled and then it turns yellow and then it starts churning and then you get the gray goo and everything just looks like gray untextured stuff. But the latest beta, which is 7.1.13.78.123, is the thing to use because they've addressed some of the stutter issues. See, look how I can just do this now. Well, let me know how it works for you. Like I said, this is just the latest chapter, and I hope to hear from you. And hey, try it with boats, airplanes, but on the road with a car is really where you're going to find the greatest difference because we are so close to so many textures. Okay, see you later.
Okay, very good, AW. Awesome video.
So, okay. Testing. I don't think I'm in.
You're on.
I can hear you.
Yeah,
okay.
You're good.
It's hard to tell sometimes. Yeah, so I know that was a little long, but I thought it'd be a valuable thing for a lot of people because almost everyone here knows what it's like to have to deal with weird crossings, and especially since PBR, it's really messed everything up. And so I think you can still get a pretty good result. As long as you clear your cache fairly often, you'll be able to get a result as good as that drive.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Am I okay?
Yep.
Okay.
I can.
Good.
Yes.
I wanted to make sure I hit the right button. We got so many buttons to hit. So yeah, that was good information here. So I think Metmes several podcasts ago, posed the question about, why we're having so much problems now crossing regions, and I think AW has centered in on that now that a lot of it's the texture issues.
Well, it's not
so
just if you're if you have an account at Jira Firestorm Viewer, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's anybody can get an account there. Then you can look at all the discussions, and the primary developers for Firestorm are paying big attention to this right now. So there's this really long thread. It's one of the top issues that's being worked on right now.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean,
I hope it will change.
Yeah.
I am sure it will. I am because this last version has made more progress than any I've seen so far.
So I haven't uploaded the latest version yet, but I will. So very good. Anything else for us, AW?
Well, I don't have anything. I've just kind of wanted to open it up and see if anybody had any comments that they had regarding high-speed sim crossing and textures and stuff like that. Or maybe if they have a setting where it's not the same and they get even better results. It'd be nice to hear.
I haven't really had too much trouble with, say, like taking my speedboat out on the Blake Sea lately. I've been able to handle crossings just fine. In terms of like cars, I haven't really. But I'm would like to. I'm gonna pay closer attention to something as this. I mean, if it's as simple as clearing your cache regularly, I mean,
Well, there was a
that's
kind of a procedure I laid out in there, and it points to a video that's on the GMT YouTube,
okay.
Which talks about sim crossing and high speed driving, stuff like that, where I talk a little bit about the process for setting up Firestorm to get better results. And with a car is always going to be the hardest
Right.
experience, so close to all the textures.
Yeah, you got so many more textures. I mean, you can fly if you go way up high where there's not many textures around. You can do a lot, and of course sailing.
And on the ocean, of course,
right.
it's water. So
yeah,
if you go on one of those canals, then it's like a car.
Yeah, right. yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay. Anybody else got any comments about this? That's a good discussion.
Well, I'm looking forward. What AW has shown is very impressive. We will see.
Yeah, that's really good information. That's why people should watch this podcast every time we do it, because we try to put out some good information here, and hopefully it's all true. But okay, so we're working on an hour and a half here, so I think we're going to close it out unless somebody else has any topics for discussion before we go. Not sure yet when our next podcast is going to be. I got to look at the calendar and my schedule and everybody else's schedule. So we try to do these every other week, and I will.
Next week is
What's that?
Weekend is Space Camp.
Yeah, Space Camp. I thought about possibly doing one then. I'm going to be out of town Thursday and Friday though, and that's when we do the flight to the Space Camp. So if there was possibly we could do something over the weekend there, maybe. Well, we'll talk about that later. It would be nice to do do something there at the Space Camp. But I'm going to have, Christy said I'm going to have a booth there, so I usually have my tent set up at those, the campouts. So
I'll be having something set up there for Alpha Omega Design.
Yeah, because you're
and
offering
I'll have
the
gift, of course, that we talked about from last time.
I was working on a video for my space station, and I didn't get it done, but we've added some rental hangars up there and everything, and I'll try.
Yours is the one that has the aliens that shoot at you?
I took all those out, just trying, because all the scripts running on the sim for one thing, and I don't think a lot of people were using it, so I put some rental hangars in up there, and just try to get some people to actually occupy the space station there, because it's pretty cool. We can add more layers to it if we need it, and because I can go vertically and up and down quite a ways, because that modular station is very cool. I wanted to show how that worked, because it is a pretty unique and ingenious design. So I may do that next podcast if I have time.
That's the same thing that you had for the museum, I think, right?
No, I used no, I didn't use that system. I used to use the ISIL domes and their roadway stuff that they had for the museum. Yeah. So I know Metmes is working on another video. Port Caletta, is that up next, Metmes?
But not next week.
Okay.
I hope it's in 2 weeks.
Okay, in 2 weeks. Okay. All right. Okay. Anybody else got anything they want to add for closing comments here before we sign off?
Well, it was a very impressive podcast, and thank you for the Memorial Day video. It's for me a new video. I didn't know that, and I think it was a very good podcast too. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, your video, Juneau, was excellent, and excellent interview there with Sam. He's a good guy, and you know, when somebody says they just want to make people happy here, do things to make people happy, that's great.
I like hearing more of that.
Yeah, that's why we're here, you know. I mean, I don't want to come here to have problems. I want to come here to escape them. So that's good.
Everybody that's watching this podcast, you should come here to the Kitty Hawk.
Yes. Yes, please
Here to the Kitty Hawk, see the whole 8 sims.
Yeah. And consider signing up there. Just talk to Captain Stenvaag, and I'm sure she'll get you in. Captain?
Oh, yes.
They won't even play the Village People song.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started with that.
Okay.
It's either in the Navy or it's Top Gun.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm DJing at the party, so I don't know what will happen, but so the opening party can be a little crazy, right? Because that's usually, I watched videos of the real life Fleet Week parties. You know, some of them get pretty wild.
I wait to the danger zone. I just remember there's like
Yeah.
Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Danger zone. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my theme song because I am one of the people here in SL who graduated from Top Gun, so yay.
You need to get
Yeah,
Tomcat.
cool. Yeah. Okay, producer Kyle, any closing comments for us?
No, this was another great podcast. On a personal note, to everyone in uniform, current and former, I thank you for your service.
Yes, very much so. Thank you for your service, and especially those who have paid the ultimate price. We wouldn't be sitting here doing this if people hadn't stepped up when they were called. So I'm going to say so long, and join us next time. We'll be publishing when we decide what date, when, and where, and whatever. Our home base is St. Aubrey Airport, and you can check out our studio over there. And please check out the airport. Metmes and Akira have an awesome airport, and it's a great place to hang out. So anyway, take care, everyone, and happy Memorial Day to all you folks in the U.S., and we will see you all next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.